Welcome to another edition of the TSS podcast, brought to you in association with Luke 1977 and Bowden and Dolphin, with your hosts Rob Carless from Bob's Books and the legend that is Shaun Teale. He's here, there, and everywhere, and he's Tealy Sayin Something.
Hello and welcome to a brand new season on the TSS podcast. You all know what it's there for. It's the Tealy Sayin Something podcast. So we started it last year in the 24-25 season, and we did so well with it, we decided that we would carry it on into the brand new season. So of course, by my side, or am I by his side? I don't know really. The legend that is Shaun Teale. Welcome to a new season, Mr. Teale.
Yeah, welcome back. It's good to be back.
I can't believe it's 3 months since we had our last one.
Really? Is it that long? God.
It is.
No.
And he started to talk again before I introduce him. Can you believe it? Just because he's had an Amazon Prime show about his team, he thinks he can do anything this year. Of course, I'm talking about the one, the only, the man who puts it all together for us, Mr. Chris Browne. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Oh my God. He's just unbelievable, isn't he? I'm surprised he hasn't got Tom Wagner in the room with him.
He'll have that baby crying one on next and that laughing one in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so how has your summer's been, Shaun? Have you had any free holidays?
No, I've not been away since I last spoke to you. However, I am going away at the start of September.
You are?
Another freebie, obviously, back to the brother-in-laws. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, it has to be planned around Villa games. So I will be away in Spain for the Everton game and the Sunderland game. Perfect.
Oh, okay. So are you going to go on holiday anywhere else apart from your brothers now that you can?
No.
Okay. At least you're honest.
Well, he's had a new pool fitted and all that, so I've got to go and test it.
Oh, of course you have, yeah. You're taking it for the team?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Yeah, I thought as much. And Mr. Browne, how's your summer been?
It's been great, thank you. Yeah. Just one holiday. Just one holiday, a few weekends away, you know. Oh,
yes, I know.
A few weekends.
I got bored of seeing your legs on the beach.
Yeah.
You did that quite a lot, didn't you?
Oh, I like doing that. Yeah.
I know you do. And I see
I give the thong a good thrashing, I tell you.
I know you did. I see your beard has grown again.
Yeah. That's only because it can't be asked.
It looks good.
Yeah. Yours anyway.
But I have to get Tealey to have one and we'll look like the Bee Gees.
You've got absolutely no chance.
Yeah,
Carol will not allow me to have a beard or a moustache.
The mature Bee Gees. That's what we call it. The grey head Bee Gees.
That was more.
The old ass Bee Gees.
That's a tragedy the way you've just done the Bee Gees then. Right, let's get straight into it there. Got quite a lot to talk about today. As we are only 1 week into the Premier League and we've had a couple of weeks of the Championship, we'll talk about that in a minute. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the player power that seems to be very imminent and in the air at this moment in time with people like Alexander Isak. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about your predictions as well, because I want the predictions for this season. But Chris, very quick one. As you are our producer, you give us all this time, right? Have you been happy with the start that Birmingham have made?
You can't be any happier, can you? Really?
Well, you could have got
unbeaten
6 points instead of 4.
Unbeaten?
Yeah. What did you think of the?
I said that 3 times. Then.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do you think? What did you think of the Amazon Prime show?
I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, enjoyed every minute of it.
And apparently, from what I'm hearing, and when I say from what I'm hearing, it's basically from you. You also was a not producer on the show, but you were brought in, weren't you, for various things?
I had a very small part really. They asked me for stuff and quite a lot of stuff really, but a lot of it wasn't used. So it makes me wonder whether they're going to do a second series. You know,
yeah, I suppose
Champions League series. You know,
they're not going to wait 5 years to do another episode, are they?
oh, 5 years.
5 years.
I'll be happy with 5 years.
Bloody hell, Teale. What are you talking about there? I've watched it myself.
Yeah.
a bit of a newfound respect, really, for Tom Wagner.
You know what? I've got to be honest. I first started watching it, and I thought it's a bit of an arsehole. You know what I mean? But at the end, I'm thinking he's all right. This bloke, he's okay. You know, you'd want him on your team, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's good for where you are now. Basically,
He's a winner. He's a winner.
talking about winners, Shaun, was you at Villa
Well,
Park on Saturday?
I was.
Okay, let's talk about that. I didn't see it. I was away for a weekend. We went to a lodge with my brothers and sisters and
Yeah, we know.
everybody, and I had to pay for it though, Shaun. Just so you know that. So tell us a little bit more. I haven't seen the game itself. I've just seen a few of the highlights or lowlights, and listening to it on the radio, going to the lodge, it looked like they were all over us, especially in the first half. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, to be fair, they came out the blocks really quick, high press, and we struggled. And when we did get our foot on the ball, we just kept giving it away. So every time we won possession back, we just gave it back to Newcastle, and it became quite monotonous in a way because we couldn't get a grip on the game, and it wasn't obviously till Unai had them in at half time that things changed slightly. We just rejigged a little bit and we looked a lot better second half at the start. But then, of course, the sending off kills the game for us, really. Once you're down to 10 men against someone like Newcastle, you can't just go gung-ho and try and win the game. So, all in all, again, it's a bit like Chris said about Birmingham. We didn't lose. We drew the first game. We can accept that going down to 10 men. So, we've got a big game this weekend, Brentford away, and touch wood, Brentford carry on their form from last week, and we can go there and win again.
Is it a warning to teams that are trying to break into that top table of football, or if you like, the supposed Sky Six, the ones that wanted to break away into this, European League or World League or whatever it was at the time? Are we a warning to teams who want to break into it? Because we've got to a certain level, top four 2 seasons ago, really good run in the Champions League this season. We're in the Europa League, so it's not quite Carlin with the Champions League, but we it's still good. But there doesn't seem to be that spark at this moment in time. What was it like down the match? Speaking to the fans there.
Everyone was really excited to be back at Villa Park. Obviously, when you're away those few months, it's amazing how much you miss actually being in and around the ground and seeing people that on a regular basis. Part of it, the biggest problem with this Sky Six thing and all that is, us, Newcastle, certain other teams, your hands are tied because of PSR. PSR and the UEFA thing are just killing the teams that want to break into that top six on a regular basis. I think it was reported at the end of last season that our wage structure, we were paying out 92% of what we were bringing in, and UEFA only allow 80%. So we were way over that. Hence why we got fined by them, however million it was. And it's just it becomes crazy, really, because you're not allowing teams with money to use that money to build.
So, in some ways, Chris, if things do, happen at Birmingham City, this could be you. And I know Tealey just mentioned there that 5-year, progression.
Yeah.
This could be you in a few years' time.
Will be us.
It will be every team that wants to break into it.
Of course,
it really will. Now, we talk about the PSR part. There is a part of it which, says that, people say, why can Man United get away with it, and spend all the money they have done and clubs like that. There's one thing there. Historically, they've always had a better revenue stream than we have.
Massively.
Right? And massively so. And Chris Eck, I know he's left Villa now, and we've got somebody else in whose name escapes me. But, with those guys, they took us up to, around the 300 million mark. But that's still around 400 million less than Liverpool, Manchester United, the Arsenals of this world. So it's going to take a long, long time, if it ever does, to break the monotony, or the monopoly, I should say.
Yeah, but the biggest problem with all that is the fact that because you can't spend, you can't have a go at them properly because you haven't got the backup to do it. Our squad's probably smaller now than it was last year. We lost certain players, and we can't replace them because we haven't got the financial clout to do that. So this season, and I think Unai Emery said it the other day, and Daniel said it. It's one of those things. We might just have to be really patient this year because it might not be the season we all hope it will be. We could end up where we finished fifth last year. We could be a few places further down than that because we can't compete.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, come down to fine margins last season as to why we're playing in the Europa League as opposed to, being back in the Champions League for this season.
Well, the fine margins were we conceded way too many goals in the first half of the season, and we didn't score enough goals, and they were your fine margins. I mean, we didn't qualify by a goal or 2 goals, something like that. So that's one thing that I'm sure the manager knows he needs to put right, and hence why with the interest in the lad at Chelsea, because we need more than just Ollie up front. We need backup. If Ollie gets injured, who have we got as a centre forward? We're struggling a bit.
That's a good point that you make there, Teale. Right. So if we bring in Jackson, are we getting rid of Ollie?
No,
I'm really pleased to say that.
I don't think that. I don't think that would ever be the view on it. I think he wants Jackson in because he knows Jackson. He's worked with him before, and I think he wants him back in with him because that puts him in that position where he's got 2 really good centre forwards, and he can mix and match a bit then because Jackson's a far different player than Ollie. Far more pace. People will say, "Oh yeah, but he was at Chelsea, couldn't hit a barn door." I guarantee if he comes to us, I bet he starts hitting the target regular because I bet Unai Emery will work with him, and we'll play a system that probably suits him better.
Yeah. I mean, I'd welcome him if it wasn't at the expense of Ollie Watkins moving out to another club. That would be a good thing for us, especially as we're fighting on 4 fronts again this season.
Yeah. I don't think Ollie will move in this window, full stop, and I don't think he'll move in the winter window either because that's the wrong time for people to move. In a sense, it doesn't tend to work that well unless you're bringing in somebody on loan. But obviously, we've had a few gone out this last week. So financially wise, I suppose that helps us again.
Well, I think we've hit the PSR rules. I mean, we were all talking about the 30th of June and something happening there, and then it came out that we were potentially or have got rid of our or sold the ladies' team to ourselves.
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Well. Again, Chelsea did it. Chelsea have done it with all sorts of hotels and that. So, you can't break a rule that's not there. So, if we can sell the training ground, rename a stand. They're talking about that the new place at Villa Park where they're going to do the live music and that. They're talking about that being sold straight away back to us to make more money. So, and yet, it's a business at the end of the day now. It's becoming a bit of a reality business. So, Chelsea, by all accounts, are building 5 huge blocks of flats not far from Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
And they're literally going to sell them straight away and make an absolute fortune out of it. And that'll go back in the coffers of Chelsea. And that's how they're getting away with it.
But, I mean, there's a massive difference, isn't there? It's those 3 words: location, location, location. We built 5 hotels in Aston. It's not going to have the same impact as 5 in Knightsbridge, is it?
You'd probably do better if you knocked about 300,000 houses down around the ground first.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this last season. Do we move from Villa Park and go for that all-purpose built and things that can be used 365? I think that if we do stop at Villa Park, it's not so much about building around it. It's making sure that we've got the right transport links to Birmingham Centre. Blues have got the advantage there in the fact that you could almost walk to Birmingham City Centre from the Blues
Yeah,
ground, and
yeah.
that will be the same for when they move to their new stadium. We haven't quite got that.
I think that the whole ground thing is. I mean, my view last season was that at some point we would definitely have to move because I think
Yeah.
we're outgrowing where we are. However, obviously, since then things have changed at Villa Park, so the North Stand's getting elongated to get the seating in for the Euros in 2028. So it's difficult then because do you spend that amount of money to redo that stand, and then in 2 years' time go, oh, we're going to move anyway?
But that's an interesting point because Birmingham have done up St Andrews.
Yeah,
and they're still moving in a couple of years' time.
15, 20 million, still moving.
That's what I mean.
They've got crazy money though. They've got crazy money.
I mean, obviously they're talking about once the North Stand's done and the way they've rejigged the seating, blah blah blah. They're talking about just over 50k in the ground. Now, it's all right saying, well, we have 42,000 at the moment, sell out every game, and there's 33,000 on the waiting list. But like somebody said to me the other week, I guarantee if you built a bigger ground, so say 80,000 in Birmingham somewhere, you wouldn't fill it because those 33,000, they wouldn't all come forward to have a season ticket. I guarantee it. As soon as you go, right, you're next in line, it's going to cost you this. I bet there's half of them pull out straight away because they won't want to fork that kind of money out. So, I think going to just over 50,000 is the right move to start with because obviously more money coming in, more revenue. But I certainly think down the line, you're going to have to be over 60,000 to compete in the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. Did you notice any structural differences when you went to the game on Saturday?
Yeah, they've definitely started work on the North Stand. So you can see at the front on the roof part of it at the front, they've took down the hoardings right at the front edge, and you could actually see. I'd have felt sorry if it had poured down because those with probably the back 4 rows of seats, there's no roof on there, I don't think. So if it poured down, they'd have got wet at the top of the stand. And on one of the pillars, they've started taking down bits and bobs. I mean, the stand's it's not going to shut while the work's been done. It's going to carry on week by week while we're still playing there because, we can't afford to lose that revenue on top of everything else.
The government who give Birmingham, or I think it is anyway. Chris, you'll tell me a bit more about this. It seems that they are ploughing money into the transport infrastructure that will benefit Birmingham City and Aston Villa there. What kind of money are we talking about that the council have? Is it the council or the government that have done it?
I do believe that a large proportion is government funded, yeah. Yeah. But I think aren't we talking 3 billion on the infrastructure alone?
Something like that. Something like that. So in my eyes, what we've got to do is get that, the route from Birmingham City Centre to Villa Park and running really, really well, like they're going to do at your place.
Well, I mean, you can guarantee that Villa would not have gone forward with the North Stand unless there was a guarantee that the Whitton train station was getting remodelled. And I believe the plans are already passed for that and it is getting remodelled. And it will make it easier.
Yeah.
I mean, as it happens, that's the only real station that you can get to Villa Park because the others are a bit further away, aren't they? So
they are. Yeah, they are. So what needs to happen? Does there need to be a better transport link, whether that be, I don't know, the trams, whatever, into Birmingham Centre. So when we do attract the fan that comes across from the world, they're going to be stopping in nice swanky hotels in the city centre and then getting the trams, to and from Villa Park for the matches. I think that's probably the best way forward for him.
To be fair, Rob, I think a tram system out to Villa Park and probably even to St Andrews at the moment would be fantastic for both sets of supporters and away supporters. It would make life so much easier. And, trams can be running every 15 minutes. There's no big deal with that because there's nothing to stop it, and I presume the expense of running a tram is far underweighs running a train, on a regular basis. So for me, I think that would be a great idea to get trams involved. I just think it would make life easier. The only other way you do it is buses, but notoriously there's no room on buses anyway, and it'll just be.
I don't know if you know, we actually have free buses to the Blues ground.
Well, we have a couple, don't we?
From I believe Solihull, about 4 or 5 different points in the city.
We have some from the city centre now, don't we?
1875 bus it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think we do actually. I think we do have.
Yeah, we have some because I had some friends were over from Australia for the Newcastle game, and I was trying to find out where they were going to sit so I could maybe go and meet them, but it didn't work out. But they were getting the bus from the city centre to Villa Park, so I know there's definitely a bus route that's running.
Yeah, because parking is absolute crazy. I mean, it's the same at Villa Park, isn't it? Parking is just
absolute nightmare. I mean, that must be the same for you, Chris. Round
it's crazy.
Blues.
I have to park so far away. So just walk from home.
Yeah.
You should be walking. You should be walking from where you live to the ground.
That bloke.
But a city like Birmingham demands it, doesn't it?
It does.
We've got to start doing this.
Yeah, we'll get full behind otherwise. We're going to
exactly.
We will.
Exactly.
To other cities across Europe. Some of these cities we used to regard as third world, and their transport and infrastructure is just. I mean, you get to Turkey, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
totally agree.
When I took Claire to Denmark last year for a big birthday, the transport system was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. You were not waiting around long.
Rob, what did you have? Did you have a sled and a reindeer?
Right, so we are 25 minutes into it, and that is the first time that he's actually took the mick.
Plenty of time for more.
Oh yeah, we have got plenty of time for more. We'll cut him out. We'll cut him out as much as we can.
We've got all season to take the mick.
Exactly. Right, let's move on to our next point then. So one person that was missing from Villa Park on Saturday was Alexander Isak. Oh, it's got dirty as far as I'm concerned. Player power. Let's go to you first, Shaun, on this one. Okay. You sign a contract these days and you sign it for a 5-year contract and it's worth X amount of millions to you. It's there to ward off clubs. A year later, it's basically ripped up. And the Alexander Isak doesn't sit pretty with me. When you look at him compared to what Eze has done, right, for Crystal Palace, where he's kept quiet and it looks like he's moving to Arsenal this weekend. It don't sit pretty with me. Shaun, you're an ex-player, right? You've got to look after yourself. I get all that. It's a short career. But somewhere along the line, I just think it's disrespectful to Newcastle United and their fans. And I'm talking about the fans that in the summer, that they'll buy anything up there in Newcastle. That's so far out. They've got their own, little wonderland up there, haven't they? You got blokes who have spent money and women who have spent money and on their kids, and they've got Isak's name on the back of it and all that kind of thing. So they've spent there a couple of hundred on that. What side do you take on that, Shaun?
To be fair, it's a very difficult one if you're not in that position, as part of Newcastle United, because it's very difficult to fathom out what's true and what's not true. So from a Newcastle United standpoint, they're saying they don't want him to go. They told Liverpool what the offer would have to be, and they've been fully upfront with Alexander Isak. On the other hand, we get a statement yesterday from Isak saying, I've held counsel, I've said nothing, blah, 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 but there's so many untruths being said that I need to come out and say. And basically what he's saying is that what he was promised is not happening. So to get to the bottom of it, we're never really going to know who's done what and who's not done what and who should have done what. So, at the end of the day, I've heard today that Newcastle are sort of saying, well, if everything's put to bed, he'll be back in the team. I can't see that ever. I can't see that he can stay at that club and hope to go back in that dressing room and be treated normally and also run out on that pitch in front of the Geordie fans who, are vocal anyway, and get away with it. I just can't see it. And I suppose some of the blame probably would be aimed at Liverpool in a sense, because they knew what Newcastle wanted, and yet they come in, they lowball the offer to try and get him cheaper. And Newcastle has already said it's never going to happen. So are Liverpool playing games and holding out for a last-minute deal where they get him at 130? I think, did they not up the offer yesterday to 130 plus add-ons, whereas Newcastle want 150? So, they can't be that far away, I wouldn't have thought. And to be honest, I fully expect him to leave and go to Liverpool. And the same goes with Johan Wieser at Brentford. Sort of down tools, don't want to play. I was promised I could leave at 40 million. Now they're asking 60 million. Newcastle have offered 30-something million. It's game playing. It's all game playing. And for me, the people that are the most let down are supporters at the end of the day.
And it's always the case, isn't it?
Always.
It's always the supporter.
If you look at the Brentford scenario, they knew Bryan Mbeumo was going to go. They knew that was going to happen. As soon as that threshold of what Brentford wanted was reached, it was done, dusted, sealed, and he'll go back to Brentford with United and probably get a standing ovation. I'm not so sure when Wissa goes back, if he does go to Newcastle, I'm not so sure it would be the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. Liverpool are the top team at this moment in time, champions of the country, right?
Yeah.
And I agree. If they get Isak, I think they're on for the second. But we'll talk about predictions again in a minute on that one there. But, is it similar? I know it's like 25 years ago, right? Or a bit longer than that, 27 years ago. But is this similar to what Manchester United done with us over Dwight York? When they, the talks was that they were interested in him. He obviously wanted that, and Johnny Gregory has spoken to us all about this particular situation, and will be in my new book, which comes out next year on John Gregory, but we won't talk about that just yet.
Sorry.
I said just get that in, didn't I?
Yeah, I had to just get that one in. Just have to get that one in.
Yeah, never mentions my book anymore.
No. Didn't know you had one.
Well, to be honest with you, they are really good doorstops.
Yeah,
So that's the one on that one. Has it unsettled the player, or is it more his agent thinking pound signs in the eyes?
I certainly think agents have got a lot to answer to. This as far as everyone's concerned, Isak was quite happy at Newcastle. There wasn't any issues. There was no problems with him and the manager or the staff or anything else. And then right out the blue, they go on the Asian tour and he doesn't go. And you've got to think somewhere along the lines that the agent's been talking to Liverpool behind everybody's back, trying to get a deal, knowing full well that he'll make an absolute fortune out of it, the agent. And he sees it as good business. It's difficult because, agents can do what agents want. They can speak to people even if they're on contract. So, in a way, a contract's not worth the paper it's written on, because if an agent wants you, he's just going to make that phone call.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You know, that they sign these contracts, and really speaking, they ain't worth. I mean,
No.
did John Duran sign a new contract with us about 6 months before he actually left?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, let's just talk about the
I
John
think I
Duran
think I think with John
situation.
Duran there was other issues though, wasn't there?
There
There
was,
was there
yeah.
was behavioural issues and training issues and that. And I think Unai Emery just gave up on it and thought, you know what, he's always going to be a pain. So let's get the money and move him out. And obviously, you know, that appears to be what happened now because the same thing happened in Saudi and they shipped him out as quick as anything.
They did, but hasn't he gone to Turkey, Fenerbahce or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So
And didn't turn up for his first training session because Mourinho went ballistic.
that is going to play out quite a lot over this summer, isn't it? With
Yeah,
Mourinho and him, that's going to be a very
yeah. You
very.
can see them clashing heads.
You certainly can do. You certainly can do. Right. So let's move on to our next topic then. So on our little WhatsApp group during the summer, I've been asking our sponsors, Luke 77, and obviously Bowden and Dolphin Signs, for their predictions for this year. Right. So I'm going to read out Luke's first and foremost. I had to laugh because he almost put Villa for everything. So one-eyed, it's
Sure.
unbelievable. And he did laugh when I went back to him and said, "You want to change a couple of these, mate, just in case Villa don't win all four competitions." So, so this is what he's gone for. Then he's gone for Liverpool as champions and Arsenal as runners-up. Now, I wouldn't have seen that, but I think the capture of Eze puts them in a far better position, right? He's
Yeah.
gone League Cup City, Man City.
Mm,
He's gone FA Cup Villa, right?
mm,
And Champions League will be PSG again. And the three
right.
teams that he's got going down are Burnley, Leeds, and Sunderland, right?
Interesting.
Jamie from Bowden and Dolphin Signs has gone Liverpool and Man City being 1 and 2.
Mm,
League Cup is gone for Liverpool.
mm,
FA Cup is gone for Arsenal. He's gone for Real Madrid as the champions of Europe, which I think will be for the 16th time. And then relegated, he's gone Burnley, Wolves, and Sunderland. Wolves could be a good shout this season after what happened, right? So,
yeah.
Chris, I know that the Premier League is nothing to do with the team that you support, but right, let's start with this because we're going to keep this until the end of the season, and
Right.
see who does the best from this. So, Chris, give me your English Premier League champions.
I'll go Man City.
Man City, okay. Why Man City over Liverpool? Because that seems to be where the smart money is at the moment, especially if they get Isak and Mark Gay as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It could be either one or the either, couldn't it? You know what I mean? One or the other. I don't. It's how can you split them? But I'll go Man City as an offside chance.
You're going to go Man City. With Liverpool second.
Liverpool second, yeah, definitely.
Okay, then. League Cup. Who are you going for in the League Cup?
Should I go Man City again? I'll go Liverpool with that one.
Okay. And as you were the one that won last year's League Cup, if you remember, because you backed Newcastle and we all backed Liverpool
Of course, yes.
on that one. FA Cup.
FA Cup. I'm not going to go Newcastle. FA Cup. Let's go on outside. Let's go on outside Man United.
What? Tell you what.
It's a cup.
How much has football changed
Yeah.
if we go outside
No.
Man United?
No.
That is mental.
Trust.
That is absolutely
Yeah,
mental
yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
Right, champions of Europe.
Champions. Yeah, I'll go Real Madrid as well.
Okay, you're going to go Real Madrid on that one. Okay. And who's the three to come down?
I'll go Wolves, definitely. Wolves. I don't want to say Sunderland. I'd love them to do something, but I'm sorry, but yeah, Sunderland.
Okay.
Probably Burnley.
And Burnley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the same as what Jamie's gone for.
Oh, is
right?
it? Oh, right.
Yeah, exactly. So let's have your prediction then for the championship. For this. Right. Can you say anything else but Birmingham?
No. We'll win the playoffs as well.
Yeah. So you'll win the league and win the playoffs.
Yeah, and the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough then. Right. So seriously, where do you see Birmingham finishing this season?
Definitely a top 6. I'll be disappointed if he goes to the playoffs, but top 2. We'll be promoted, I think.
So you think you'll be promoted? Pick up a penguin.
Definitely.
Right? You think you'll be promoted without having to go through the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think the owners will put up with anything else.
Okay, fair enough then. Right, Teale, who you got down as champions of our country?
Liverpool.
You said that with conviction.
Go for the obvious.
Yeah.
Why do you think Liverpool will do it?
I just think that I think they've strengthened wisely, and if they do get Isak, or Isak, I just think they'll be far and above more potent than any other team.
How did they play on Friday? Because again, I didn't quite see the game.
It was a strange game because if Liverpool have got a weakness, it's at the back, because obviously they have the 2 new fullbacks, Kirkes and who's the other one, Fofana, is it? They play a weird system, so they push on, but they both push on at the same time, which leaves Canate and Van Dijk literally on their own. And obviously, Bournemouth took great advantage of that to bring it back to 2-2. But Liverpool, they just keep going. It's like an express train. They just keep going and going and going. They get the break with Chiesa, and then Mo Salah does what Mo Salah does. Chases a lost cause, cuts inside, puts in the bottom corner, 4-2, game over. But they're definitely gettable at. I just think when it comes to them playing against the bigger teams, the Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Uniteds, the Cities, I think they'll play slightly different. I don't think they'll be as rampant going forward as they are with the fullbacks.
If they get Mark, is it Gay? You know me, I can never pronounce these footballers.
Yeah, Mark Gay, yeah.
I have trouble with Shaun Teale, let alone anybody else. Right, Mark Gay, right, if he signs, does that make them really good at the back? Is he there to replace Virgil van Dijk?
No. I think what'll happen if Gahey does go there, I think you might find that Arne Slot changes the way they play, and I think then he would probably go to a back 3.
Yeah.
With wing backs, with Kirkes and Fofana bombing on. Having said that, Fofana's already injured, got hamstring, so he's out for a few weeks anyway. Already, he's only played not even one game. He didn't finish the game. So, but you look at strength in depth as well. I mean, Liverpool have got such a squad now; it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just as a side chat, Mo Salah, PFA Player of the Year. What are your thoughts on that? Did you think deserved?
Yeah, I do. I do actually.
But by a margin.
You're saying that, Chris? Who would you have chose?
I'm not saying. I know a lot of other people thought what, but no, I agree. Yeah, but
to be honest, with his goals and his goal contributions, I couldn't really see it going anywhere else.
No, and it wasn't his best season, really, was it?
No.
He's. I mean, we spoke about this during last season's podcast. The guy's a Premier League legend, isn't he?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
And some people have said that he's not, but I think he is without a shadow of a doubt.
Me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
My runners-up, Rob, would be Arsenal.
Yeah,
and I think what they've done with bringing Eze in is a masterstroke, really, because Havertz is out. Well, they said a month, but it sounds on the radio tonight that he's going to be out quite a bit longer than that. Now, the problem they've got is the pressure's on Arteta now, because if he doesn't win anything, they're gonna throw the book at him. They've spent 1 point something billion to assemble that team. Liverpool haven't even spent the billion. So, it's all about who fits in what team. And I can see Eze being, when you think Eze on one side, Saka on the other side.
It sounds good.
Well,
It sounds really good.
As a fullback, you're just going to be chasing shadows all day long, aren't you?
So, again, I can't say his name. I can say Victor, right?
Got Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, yeah. How do you think he's going to do? Because, Arsenal fans have been saying, we want a number 9, we want a number 9. That's the reason why we finished second and all that kind of stuff. Now they've got that number 9. How do you think he'll do?
I think he'll score goals, but I don't think he'll score as many as people are suggesting. Will he get 20 goals? I very much doubt it. Not in the Premier League. Don't forget, he was at Coventry and couldn't score goals. He didn't score loads of goals when he was at Coventry. So yes, he had a great season at Sporting, but it's a different league, different defenders. There's far better defenders, team for team, in the Premier League than there is out in Portugal. So I think it'll be a test for him. But I certainly don't think he'll struggle for service. It's whether he can put the ball in the back of the net enough times.
Yeah, I'll tend to agree with that. So who you got down as your League Cup winners for this year?
I will go with Aston Villa.
Sorry.
Did he laugh?
Oh, no.
30th anniversary of the last time we won it.
Oh, there you go. It was a toss-up between League Cup or FA Cup with Villa. I fancy them to win something, but I just think they did so well in the FA Cup last year, and notoriously we're not good in the FA Cup, and I think that was a one-off. So I think we'll probably go out of the FA Cup a lot earlier this time. But I think the League Cup's a funny one. I just feel we've got enough in our locker to get something out of it.
Okay, interesting. FA Cup.
Chelsea.
We haven't mentioned Chelsea yet.
I think Chelsea would be the dark horses for the whole season. I know they didn't play particularly well at the weekend against Palace. But early season, Newcastle weren't fantastic. We weren't fantastic. You look at Everton, they were awful. There's teams bedding in. And I just think Chelsea, if you look at their squad, they've got such a strong squad. And again, an awful lot will depend on Cole Palmer, on his ability to keep his form going and scoring goals and assists for the whole season.
They bought a lot of players, and they had a great end to the season, winning the Conference League and being top 4 and winning that club championship in the summer as well. Yeah, for £100 million and all that kind of thing. I think if you stop Cole Palmer, you stop Chelsea.
To a point. I don't disagree with that.
Okay. So who have you got going down then this season?
Burnley, definitely. I think that everybody would say that anyway. I can't see them scoring enough goals, and it's all right having a great defensive record in the Championship, but you're talking about the best players in the world. So Burnley, I think, and I'm going to go for Wolves, and I'm also going to go for Brentford, because I just think Brentford are a shadow of what they were the last few seasons. I don't get the Keith Andrews thing. I don't get why they would make him a manager as a Premier League team for his first job. I just don't get that at all. And Mbeumo's gone, the midfield player's gone, the keeper's gone. If Wissa goes as well, what have they actually got left? They haven't got, quality-wise, very little.
Yeah, a good point there. Right, so I'm going to start off with my bottom 3 as well. And I'm going to agree with Teale on this one. I've got Burnley, Wolves and Brentford. I don't want Wolves to go down because I want the middle of the
Before you go any further, Rob, Barcelona for Champions League.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So you're going for Barca. Okay.
One job.
Fair dues, right? Okay, so I'm going for Liverpool and Arsenal, top 1 and 2. Man City third. 4th, Chelsea. I know I haven't asked you guys this, but, Villa
5th.
Yeah. I'm going League Cup. I'm going Man United.
Oh, God.
Right, as an outsider. And I'm going FA Cup Chelsea. Right. But I am giving Villa a trophy this season, right? I'm going to stick my neck out and say that
Europa.
if we, I'm surprised we haven't spoken about this just yet, but if we play with the same intensity that we did in the Champions League for last season, given that the Champions League teams don't come down anymore to the the second tier of European competition, and let's face it, that is why we had Tottenham and Man United in the final for last season. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the projected pots, and I'm seeing, if I wasn't a Villa fan, I would be having Villa as my team there, especially as it's Unai Emery's competition, which he's won 4 times with 2 different clubs.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, Rob.
What do you think of that, Chris?
It's a possibility. I don't really know what the pots are, so but
it's a difficult one because there's so many teams in that you think, oh, they've got no chance. But it just depends how it pans out, week by week. If you're flying, you're up there in that top 8. You've got, you're going to have the right draws at the right time, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. I think it's difficult at this time, and you know what I mean, because Villa could go on a really, have a great couple of games, and then go on a real bad 4 or 5.
That's what I'm saying. If we can keep to that intensity, I mean, let's face it, we gave PSG their hardest game, from the quarterfinals onwards, and obviously they thrashed into Milan in the final there. It's very pleasing to see that we gave them a good game there. So that's what I'm saying. If we can do that, and we staved off the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG, Juventus. Obviously, Juventus is not the team that they used to be in this. But if we can do that, then I see that as being our best way back into the Champions League.
I don't disagree.
Good, excellent. Right. So one other thing I want to speak about was dark horses for this season in the Premier League. Right.
Red Room was a dark horse.
The first dad joke of the year. Right. So
too young to remember.
Of course you are. Yeah. You are. With that beard, it looks like you've drank a lot of red rum, to be honest with you. But it says me. But there you go. Right. So my dark horses are Everton. Right. I've just got this feeling that they're going to be all right this year, and they're going to be a top 10 team quite easily. Okay. And I think, right, and this is what I wanted to finish on for this week. We haven't spoke about our Jackie boy. Obviously, he's now an Everton player, right?
Yeah.
I think it will be the making of him going to Everton. I put this on Facebook a few weeks ago with it, but he looks streets ahead of the players that they've got there at the moment. I'll give you an example. In the game that they played against Leeds, took on 4 players, went past them, played a great ball into Beto. Beto didn't have a clue what he was doing with it. So he's going to be head and shoulders the best player for Everton.
Beto, by the way, was an absolute disgrace the other night.
It was.
His attitude stunk.
I couldn't agree more. Agree more with it.
I'll give you my dark horses, and only because I've looked at the players that they've signed in the very last week or so. Forest.
Yeah. So they've got Dougie.
Yeah.
Has that been confirmed yet?
McAteer from City.
Yeah.
And they've also got Amari Hutchinson from Ipswich.
Yeah. That's a good signing.
Yeah. And the other thing is, Chris Woods has got off to a flyer, 2 goals in his first game.
He has got off to a flyer. Yeah, I agree with that. So are you looking around the 7th mark for them again, or do you possibly see them being a top 6 club?
I think they could very easily finish top 6. I would be surprised if they're not pushing for that 5th place. I mean, we all have to hope in a sense, because I think we all really think that Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and Chelsea will be the top 4.
Yes, we do. Generally, yeah.
So we're playing for 5th in a sense. Now we've got to pray that everybody does well in Europe, in the Champions League and we get that fifth place again, and then Villa, Forest, and a few others will be Tottenham. Maybe will be pushing hard to finish fifth to get into Champions League.
What impressed me more about Forest, I know they lost Elanga to Newcastle, but keeping Morgan Gibbs-White was a real bit of a statement as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and the other star of the show that doesn't really get spoke about that much is Anderson next to him in midfield.
Yeah, very true.
I listened to the commentary on the other day, and he ran the show by all accounts. He was everywhere, did everything. Great through ball for Chris Woods' goal or second goal, and I think those two in the engine room are going to be really difficult to disrupt this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Who's your dark horses for the Premier League, Chris?
Over the Premier League, you can't really pick a dark horse for the Premier League. It's always going to be the same top six.
You are, but I'm talking about a team.
Okay, I'll go. I want to say Crystal Palace. That's another subject.
Let's talk about that then.
As well, Conference League as well. I'll go Forest. Dark horse.
Okay, yep, that's fair enough. I'm going to stick with Everton. I'm not saying they'll be top six, but I think they'll equally be a very strong top 10 team this season. And I think that new stadium, have you been there yet, Shaun?
It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah.
You can't get your freebies there, can you, at the moment?
No.
Oh, dear. See?
You'll have to work on that.
He looks so disappointed. Have you noticed that, Chris?
I'm working on my cousin to get me into Leeds a few times.
Yeah, I thought as much.
I have noticed he's got his holiday planner behind him as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, holiday.
Exactly.
I'm actually at work.
Right.
So
right.
I'm at the dentist's working.
Oh right, okay.
So that's the dentist's planner, not mine.
He got there at 2:30. Oh, right, okay then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Talking of dad jokes.
Exactly. Right, let's finish very quickly then. I know you brought them up earlier, and it is a relevant subject. Crystal Palace, have they been all hard done by, or is it their fault?
Oh yeah, I know.
Their fault.
I agree.
Why'd you say that?
You can't have an argument when there's a cut-off day when you've got to have all the paperwork in and go through it all, miss that deadline day and then cry wolf. You just can't do it. He knew.
I agree.
They've tried to say, yeah, but he was nothing to do with the day-to-day running of the club. Doesn't matter. He was putting money into that club. He was part of that package and he knew he'd done wrong. And by going to appeal, they were just wasting the time and wasting money because they knew it was never going to get overturned.
Mm. Chris?
I actually thought they were hard done by, but they're still in Europe, in a sense, aren't they?
Do you know what though? Right, they've really bugged me over this Crystal Palace, and I'll tell you why. What a season we've had with Newcastle winning the League Cup and beating Liverpool, and Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup. It's hard to. We spoke about this at the start of the show. It's hard to break into that top 1% of football in this country. What you've got to do, if we are going to do it, is get our houses in order.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. So Palace not getting their house in order, in a way, has put the rest of us back. Do you know what I mean? We were trying to get there. A simple thing, Forest did it on the 1st of March. Their chairman moved his stuff over. So he did that, and a lot of you could have had people at Palace going, well, I don't think we're going to win the FA Cup anyway. I don't like that. I really, really don't. There was a conversation on TalkSport between Jordan and White the other week, and it really resonated with me. And I want to talk about this in coming weeks. But Jordan said, he's got no sympathy for the way that it's happened at Palace. Jordan said that football today is a participation sport.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're going to break that, we can't have clubs like Palace not getting their house in order properly on it. So that's why I loved them winning the FA Cup. It was great.
Yeah.
But they've messed up.
For me, Rob, for me, it smacks of entitlement.
Yeah.
It's like he just felt, well, I can do what I want to do. I'll not get caught, and I'll get away with it anyway. And, it's come back and bit them on the backside. I happen to think, in a sense, as far as Palace are concerned, they're probably better being in the conference first season anyway, because they've got a chance. They've got a very good chance of winning that. If they can keep hold of Wharton and keep hold of Mateta, they've got a chance. Europa Cup might have been a bit too big too quickly. Having said that, they are our bogey team, so we didn't want them in a competition we were in anyway.
Yeah, they'd have beat us 9-0 and aggregate in the semi-final or something like that.
Hey, we've got them within the next 2 games, haven't we, at our place?
Yeah, we have. Yeah. It's now been moved to a Sunday, I think it is, isn't it?
7 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday.
What? Oh. So here's another one that I want to speak about in the coming weeks, right? Sky have now got 250, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have so much more of these 7 o'clocks on a Sunday night.
Have you not already
seen,
Rob? Have you not already seen that all 3 games in October have all been moved already?
Yeah.
They've all gone from Saturday to Sunday, and they're all Sunday 2 o'clock kickoffs. All 3 games are live on Sky.
Yeah, exactly.
You may as well not bring a fixture list out till Sky have decided who they want on the telly.
Absolutely.
Because they just, it's like throw every name in the hat and pull one out and let's mess them up.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Crystal Palace fans come to Birmingham on 7 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Yeah, ridiculous.
It so is. It's like that 12:30 game, isn't it, between Newcastle and Bournemouth, on a Saturday. It really, but we don't matter. Football fans don't matter.
You'll find on that Sunday game when Palace come to us that half the Palace end will be empty because
I think so.
A lot of them won't be able to get back to London after the game.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get a train back at 9:30, 10 o'clock to London.
Of course you won't. It amazes me, that you've got London city number 1, Birmingham city number 2. On a Saturday, you can't get a direct train between the 2 cities after 10:30.
Exactly. And it's even worse on a Sunday. And there's far fewer trains on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got to get into London and then get back out to Crystal Palace, South London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I hope they do well. Obviously this show will go out on the 25th, which will be Monday. But as we are pre-recording this, they are about an hour away from their kickoff in their qualifying game for the Conference League. I wish them all the best. I know they do well in the competition.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and make sure that they get the house in order from now on. Definitely.
Yeah, sure.
Right, guys, that's our first one wrapped up for the 25-26 season. We've made our debut. And there's plenty more of this to come. As always, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Luke 77 and also Bowden and Dolphin Signs, for their continued support with us. We will speak in a couple of weeks' time. No doubt the piss taking on WhatsApp will commence straight after this, and I'll hear the word Santa about 1,000 million times. But there you go.
Not from me, because I'm going back to work now.
Not from me.
There you go then. Right, guys, have a great one. Speak to you soon.
And you take care, both.
Ta-ra,